Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Stay and this is Coloring Bliss. Today we're going to do some fun coloring, some art with the color cubes by Renae Clark. I'm really excited to see how the cards work when we're in an actual art situation. So I have a fun coloring page that is a free download if you'd like to download and color along or try this at home. Now, I also want to remind you that we have a giveaway going on and you don't have a lot of time to get your entries in. This giveaway ends April 24th and the winner will be announced April 25th. We're picking 3 winners. 3 people will win this bundle right here with the color cube 1 and 2. I'm so excited to give these away and I'll give you more details on the giveaway at the end of the video. For now, let's get the cubes out and let's start picking our first color scheme. Alright, if you remember from last week's video when we did our unboxing and first impressions of the color cubes, inside this bundle you get 2 pretty boxes, and I put a number 1 sticker right here for my color cube volume 1, and I put my number 2 sticker right here for my color cube volume 2. So for today's video, let me get this box out of the way. We're going to pick 2 random color schemes from each of these boxes. So we'll start with volume 1. I'll move volume 2 to the side. And I have a coloring page that you can come and download if you would like to color along with me. Isn't it cute? I wanted to pick something fun, and I wanted to pick something that was more interpretive, that I could do any color. You know, this little monster could be pink, blue, yellow, any color I wanted to. So this will be really good for practicing the different color schemes. And then what I did was I cut out this piece of cardstock so that I can cover up the other monsters that we're not working on, so that we can focus all our attention on one monster at a time. And then at the end of this video I'll reveal all 4 with all 4 different color schemes, and I want you to vote in the comments which monster you like best. So let's start by picking a random color from this box. So we have 2 here, so lots to choose from. Just a random pick for our first monster. Let's go for this one right here. Ooh, lots of greens and a pop of red. I like it. And I'm going to pick the other cards when we're ready to color the other monsters, because I want to really focus on one card at a time, one color scheme at a time, and how we're going to use these cards in this coloring situation. So the thing I like about having the photo here is that it gives you an opportunity to look at the way the colors are balanced. Lots of green. The green is sort of the mother or dominant color on this page, and then the red is really a nice pop, a nice accent color. So, and of course the gray makes a really pretty background, and we've got 2 colors of gray. So we have 2 greens, 2 grays, and then this nice orangey red. And then when you look at the back side of the card, it gives you all those colors again, but right up next to the edge of the page. So now we can choose which tools we're going to use. So for that, today we're going to use the set of pencils that won our recent battle for the best cheap pencils on Amazon. This is the Artisto pencils. So I have them all swatched so we can pull the best color match possible. So let's start by finding this scarlet color. I'm going to come up into my red swatches and try to find the best match. Now, it's never going to be perfect, the match. Well, not never, but it's rarely going to be perfect. So I would say the closest is maybe that red or that red. Steve, what do you think? You're my color guru. You have the best color eyes. Or that one. That one's more orangey.
Yeah, it's kind of more of an orange red, isn't it?
Yeah.
The one above it is way too orange. Yeah, that's way too orange.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of those two is probably good
Okay,
enough.
and then over here on this side of the swatch chart, it gives us an idea of what a light, medium, and a dark would look like. And I definitely want to grab a dark in this scarlet. So if we do 301, and then maybe that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be, or that one. Ooh, what do you think, Steve? 337 is definitely a darker as far as value goes than 333.
Yeah. Well,
So
and the one that it's on right now is also a good one. That one would work as well.
oh, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. See, Steve sees colors so much different than I do. I learn a lot from him every time he helps me. So I think you're right. I like the 325. So we're going to go for 301 and 325. Let me get those two pencils. All right, I have these two pencils ready to represent our scarlet. And as far as the light red goes, I'm going to tell you here in just a minute what my plan is for the light red. Okay, now we need to pick two greens, a hunter green and a light green. Let's start with the light green and come down here into the greens. This is a nice yellowy green. Oh, that's not right. I thought that one would be the one, but this one has more blue in it, don't you think, Steve?
Yeah. That's hard. There isn't one that really matches. That one does a little better from a dark perspective.
Yeah, so that one there, 322, I think is the one for our light green. It's a dark, but I think it's the best match as far as undertones, yellowy and bluey undertones. I think that's our best match. So I'm going to grab 322. All right, now we need to find our hunter green. So I'm going to do the same thing. Oh, that one is a possibility. Ooh, that's a good possibility. I am thinking that's the closest one. Do you agree, Steve?
Yeah.
347. All right, let me go grab 347. All right, we have two more colors to get here, so we have everything represented. We have a gray and we have the sage. And I don't know if we're going to have any luck with the sage. Let's check our second page. That's one thing I liked about the Artisto is we had some good grays. Ooh, that's a good one, don't you think, for the gray, Steve?
Yeah.
So 366 for our gray, but sage, I'm feeling like we're not finding a good sage.
Just too bad. That's like my favorite color on that.
Yeah, we might have
It's a
to...
green gray.
We might have to drop it, which is fine because I prefer a 3-color color scheme anyway. So with having this many colors, it's a little more than what I'm used to using, especially on a small illustration like we're using today. So,
Your other option would be to find a color that seems like it's in the same color family and then tint it or tone it.
yeah, we could do that. Yeah, well, let's grab that gray that we picked, number 366. I'll be right back. All right, I think the next thing I'm going to do is reveal to you my plan for the lights, and we'll see if we can find a sage in my plan for the lights. And that is that I want to use some alcohol markers as a base layer, and usually I use the lightest colors as my base layers and then build the shadows on top of it. So let me grab my book that has all of my Ohuhu markers all swatched out, and let's see if we can find, let's start with that sage, that tricky color that Steve loves so much and wants represented. Look at all these colors that you get with the Ohuhu. So much fun. Okay, we're getting into blues and blue-greens here. That's not quite right. Here we are. This is where we should find sage. Look at that. I think we found it right there, number 240 or G410 light holly green. Don't you think, Steve?
Yeah.
I think that's the best one right there. Let me grab 240.
They also had some good green grays, didn't they?
Oh, you're right. Let's see. Oh, but none of them. Oh, look at that. Steve, you're so good at this.
296 is good too. But yeah, if you want a lighter one, yeah, that.
Those two right there.
020.
Which one do we think is better? That one is got more yellow in it. I think you're right. I think this is more the color.
I guess it depends, though. If you want there to be a little more color in the base layer, then I would go with the other one, you know?
True. But if we're going off the swatch...
Because that one's good enough, too, you know?
Yeah.
Especially if you look
brighter.
at the other tones in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still pretty gray, isn't it?
Okay, let's go for the gray, the green gray, $2.95, and I'm going to get the darker version too, so we'll have two to work off of. Let me grab those two markers. All right, now I'm going to find a light gray that feels the same color. There's it's a very neutral gray according to this set. So if we go for a lighter version of that gray, that would put us here or here, and I'm feeling like we want to have enough contrast between my gray pencil and the light gray that I choose. So I'm going to grab that gray, number CG030, neutral gray 03. All right, now we need to find a light green, a light hunter green, and a light scarlet. Let's flip to the greens. I like that one, G130 acid green. Let's grab that one. Okay, I'm thinking this G420 green shadow would be a really good light hunter green. It's a really light hunter green, but I think it'll work well. All right, we have our light gray, our light green, our light hunter green. We need a light scarlet now. So flip back here to our reds and see what we can match up. I think we'll go for R050 chocolate pink. It's a little bit darker in value than some of these other pinky colors, so I think it will pair well with the scarlet pencils that we've chosen. So R050 chocolate pink. All right, here is my recipe. I've taken and interpreted these colors from this color scheme into my tools that I'm going to use on our little monster illustration. So let me bring you up the very first monster here that we're going to work on. I'm going to clear off my workstation and let's start coloring. Now, as you're watching my first little monster take shape, I want to mention my kind of order of operations that I'm going to be using on these monsters. The first step I'm going to do is block out the colors with a base layer using my alcohol Ohuhu markers. That will get rid of the white of the paper and give me a base start for my blends. After the base layer is laid down with the alcohol markers, then it's time to use my color pencils to add my shadows. I look at the illustration for any hints and ideas on where the light source is, and on my first monster, the catch light in his eyes tells me that the light is on the top right hand corner. So that's how I'll shade up our cute little monster. Now, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to give it a like right now while you're watching, and take a minute to subscribe. It really helps me out and my channel out, and I'm working so hard towards my 100,000 subscriber goal. Thank you so much. For the background, I'm going to draw a circle behind my monster to give him a boundary for the background, and I'm going to use the sage colors, or the greenish grayish colors that we picked for that background. Now I'm going to use a Pentel white gel pen. It's the Hybrid Gel Grip DX, to add some little details with white. It's going to make this little monster so cute. Alright, monster 1 is all done. We'll revisit and look at him a little closer here in a minute. But now we need to move on to monster number 2, so it's time to choose another card from Color Cube 1. For monster 2, we're going to pick a card and then do the same steps where we match up the color swatches with all of my Ohuhu markers and the Artisto pencils until we have a good recipe for coloring this new monster. Now that the colors are picked for monster 2, let's lay them down and see how this little fella turns out. Monster 1 and 2 are done. Now let's pick a color scheme for Monster 3 and repeat the process. We are finally on Monster 4, so I'm going to pick my fourth and final card from box number 2, and we'll see what the cube gives us. Okay, all 4 monsters are colored. I brought Steve over here and we're going to play a little game. I have the 4 cards that inspired the 4 monsters, and I'm going to see if he can match up the right card with the right monster.
Ooh, okay.
If I did a good enough job, you should be able to. So let me reveal all 4 monsters. This is the first time we've seen all 4 together, Steve.
Exciting.
Here we go. There they are. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the middle of the screen and hand Steve the 4 cards and see if he can match up the right card with the right monsters.
This will be easy. Okay, got that one. Got that one. We got that one and that one.
Very good. He didn't struggle at all. So I would say I did my job well then, interpreting the color scheme. I have to say, a negative for these cards is I felt like if I didn't use a color, like for instance in this color scheme here, there was this mustard color and I left it out and I felt guilty for leaving it out. Another thing that I don't like about the cards is if I don't have an exact match for a color, I feel like I have like failed or something. and it's also, I have to remember it's the set, I'm using the set of markers, but I have 320 markers. You would think I'd be able to find a match for everything. So those are 2 negatives that I have felt while working with the cards from the color cube. But other than that, it was very fun to try 4 very different color schemes and see how I could interpret them. I tried to sort of look and see if blue was the dominant color. I tried to make it the dominant color over here.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of that, and then I played around with the backgrounds, adding some of the other colors in. There's one monster that I really don't like. And it's just a personal preference. So before I tell you my feelings on which ones I feel worked good and which ones didn't, vote. I want you to comment below which monster is your favorite monster. Is it monster number 1, monster number 2, monster number 3, or monster number 4? Steve, do you have a favorite monster?
Let me see. I think I like number 1.
Number 1?
Yeah.
Well, that's really good. I'm glad you like that one. This one I struggled with because, again, there was that one color, that sage, and I didn't know how to use it.
Oh, see, that's what I like about that
So I
one.
used it for the background on that one.
I really like that as the background.
Yeah, this one over here, black was one of the colors. So I wanted to actually color with the black, and for a minute I thought I was going to come right up to the lines with all black. But then I realized it would make the illustration look a little weird.
Yeah, I really like what you did with it.
Oh, thank you.
Little vignette there.
Yeah, in the vignette. This one, the circle went a little bit astray, but shh, don't tell. I don't think unless
oh,
you.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, unless you laid
It's
a circle
so cute.
on
I
top.
love that one.
Yeah,
I like how the color scheme there too.
this one was really hard for me, and I must admit that when I pulled the 4th card, I on purpose kind of thumbed through a few until I found one with really vibrant colors. So the first card that came up with vibrant colors I grabbed, and when I pulled this out I was like, oh, it's blue, and then I was like, wait a second, that's a blue-orange with the orange. What am I going to do with that? And anyway, so I think it still worked out good, but I did drop mustard. So, your favorite is this one?
I think so.
Yeah, I think for me it's between this little guy and this little guy here. I like how the blending between the green and the blue, how that looks on this little guy here. Do you know which one is my least favorite?
I would guess this one.
Ah, this one is my least favorite.
Yeah, I wondered about, well, there are only 2 of them to choose from. I wondered about it. But I really did earlier. I wondered, I thought, do I like that one or not? Kind of the more pale colors.
It was very toned down. So a tone is a color plus gray, and all of these colors felt like they had some gray mixed into them. So it was a very muted type color palette, which is beautiful, don't get me wrong. But on this little monster, did it work?
I think so. It's really cute. That's probably my least favorite, but mainly it's because I love that color palette on the card. And those colors are just too strong. They're not pastel enough on the little monster.
And I think it's because I was overcompensating. I had just finished coloring this one and felt like, oh, it's so boring and muted. I want it to be really strong and bright now. And so I think I kind of went the wrong direction with it. Plus the dominant color is more that green, the sage color, and I did the background and it really took over. Yeah. So
I think that's what I don't like about it is the background.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I mean, it's not,
oh, it's personal
just
preference
say you don't
here.
like it. I like all of them.
Yeah, they turned out so cute.
Less than the others.
And these are color schemes that I would not normally do. So they push this color cube pushed me out of my comfort zone, and using different dominant colors than I would normally choose. That was another thing that this color cube really helped me with. So other than my couple little issues where it's me personally feeling guilty for leaving out a color or like I failed because I didn't get a perfect color match, those are 2 silly things.
Why do we go to those extremes? It's like me saying I don't like. That's not even true at all. I like all of them. But it's like, I don't know, as humans we seem to want to make things black and white or one extreme or the other.
Yeah. So I'm going to have Steve make a blog post for this one and include the recipe card for each monster and include our free download. If you want to come and get these monsters, it'll be on that blog post. And I would love to see how you color the monsters. Tell me your process too when you share it. Did you use the color cube? Did you just wing it and pick any colors you want? I would like to know how you color your monsters. So come on over to our Facebook group. I can put that link up here. And join our Facebook group because that's a great place to share your coloring art. And I'd love you to come share this art that you do and tell us your process for how you did the monsters. I would love to hear that. So thank you so much for watching this video. I am now going to tell you the nitty-gritty details of the giveaway in case you are interested. It ends April 24th and there are lots of different ways for you to this giveaway. Follow the link in the video description. Come on over to our website. Get your entries in for a chance to win one of the 3 bundles. Now the winner's going to be announced April 25th. Now right up on the screen right now, I'm having Steve put our scam alert. I don't want any of you to get scammed, and because we've been warning you about the scams, I haven't heard. Have you heard of anybody getting scammed lately, Steve?
No.
So I think you guys have figured out how to avoid the scammers, but just like I said, the most important thing is Steve and I will never ask for money. If you win a prize from us, we're going to give the prize, we're going to ship it to you, the whole thing. So don't worry about if you see someone asking you for money, then that's something to avoid because that's a scam. It's not us. We'll be announcing the winner April 25th via email, so make sure you come over to Coloring Bliss and become at least a free member, because then you'll get our emails and you'll be notified next time we have another giveaway. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed me exploring and using the Color Cube by Sarah Renae Clark. Thanks again and again and again for being such awesome followers. I love our community. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking and commenting. It helps our channel so much. And I hope you have a wonderful, colorful, blissful day. Bye-bye, everyone.